All right. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Kia Hyundai channel. My name's Gabby.
And I'm Charlotte.
And today's video, it's a little bit of a question. We're giving you a full walkthrough of the 2024 Hyundai Palisade Ultimate Calligraphy, but we're also going to talk a little bit about, is it better than buying a Santa Fe in the equivalent trim? Charlotte, is
Let's find out. That's the purpose of today's video, especially given the price point for both vehicles.
Now this one's priced at $58,299 Canadian, and this is the highest trim level you can get in the Hyundai Calligraphy for the Palisade, I should say. Now also, if you're cross-shopping with other Palisade models, there's now only 2 in Canada, so you're only going to get the Urban or the Ultimate Calligraphy, and the Urban is still very well equipped. So if you want something a little bit cheaper, you can go for that, but I highly recommend working your way to the Ultimate Calligraphy if you can, because this car is impressive.
It's super impressive, and it has pretty much everything that you could ever want, and those features that you didn't even know that you wanted until you get to try them out. Now, if you guys are new here, these videos are live streamed, which is why the quality is how the quality is. But we do these videos live every single weekday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you'd ever like to join us. And we do these videos for 3 different reasons.
Reason number 1, if you have a Kia Hyundai vehicle, we want to give you all the information there's to know about these cars, whether it be tips, tricks, or just maintenance. And reason number 2.
Number 2 is that if you're searching for a new vehicle or a new to you vehicle, why not consider Kia or Hyundai as a brand? The Telluride and the Palisade are fan favorites for a reason, and hopefully this video shows you why too.
And then reason number 3, if you watch our videos and you decided, wow, I could really use a Kia or Hyundai in my life, and you just so happen to live in Ontario, Canada, we have 3 stores that can help you out. So on the Kia side of things, me and Charlotte work at Brantford Kia, but we also have 2 Hyundai locations, Brantford Hyundai, where we picked up this Palisade today, and then Owen Sound Hyundai, which is a little bit out.
With that being said, we are going to get into a full interior and exterior review, and if we have time, maybe we'll even hit the road, but
let's get into
you'll have
it.
to stay tuned to find out.
And I don't know if you guys can tell so far, but this vehicle, it's actually not black for the exterior paint color. This is called Robust Emerald. So we're matching today. Definitely our video quality is probably not going to pick it up, but if we can take this car outside today, you should be able to see some of that green metallic shimmer, and it's absolutely stunning. By far one of the classiest colors available for the Palisade. Speaking of classy, let's look at the grille. This thing, it's huge. It does remind me almost of an alligator skin, but or crocodile, whatever your preference is. But it does have this nice satin chrome finish, which really makes it stand out compared to the Urban trim, which is going to have a different look. We have our Hyundai emblem, huge right in the very center, and just down below that, if you take a closer look, Charlotte, you might have to get a little closer, we have a camera located in the very center. Now that camera, it does a lot. So it's essentially going to be one piece in your full 360 camera view, which combines a bunch of other cameras, but it's also going to show you just how close you are to whatever is ahead of you. So if you pick up something with your sensors, let's say the wall for instance, that camera will trigger and you can see just how much space you have before you hit something, but you shouldn't have an issue with that. The sensors do a really good job. Below that, we have another sensor. This is called a radar plate, and essentially it's always going to monitor the distance between you and the car ahead of you. This is going to work for a variety of different features like your smart cruise control, your highway drive assist, and your forward collision avoidance. Speaking of highway drive assist, this vehicle is equipped with HDA 2, which is an advancement from the traditional system, HDA 1, and it incorporates machine learning and also does automatic lane changes. So this car is pretty smart, and it does a lot by itself. It's independent, if you will. All right, next up, we're going to take a look under the hood. So the Palisade, one thing I will say that kind of stands out, especially if you're comparing it to the Santa Cruz, is its powertrain. So you can only get this vehicle with a 3.8-liter V6 GDI engine, so gasoline, no hybrid option available as of yet. But this powertrain is going to give you a towing capacity of 5,000 pounds, and you get a traditional 8-speed automatic linked with it. So if you really like a smooth and powerful ride, or robust ride, only available with the Robust Emerald Green exterior paint, you should probably go for the Palisade. It has that increased towing capacity, those smoother shifts, and you have a ton of different drive modes that can best suit your driving style. For horsepower, you're looking at 291 horse, and torque is 262 pound-feet. So it's quite a powerful machine, moves your family quite easily, and this one's a 7-seater. You can also get it with an 8-seater configuration if you go to the Urban trim level. Wheels are fun. These are 20-inch alloys, and they are exclusive to the Calligraphy trim. So it almost has a sputtering style. They're aluminum alloys. I think they look very, very good, and you have your traditional all-season tires with them. For your mirrors, they are body color, and you get this beautiful signal repeater. And it's a fun different signal repeater too. They changed this in 2023. I think it looks phenomenal, and it just adds to the design, but also it's a great safety function to have it on the front as well. You also have an indicator on the very side or the tip, And just below that, you'll have another camera. That camera is going to show your blind spot. So every time you go to indicate a turn, you're going to get a live feed in your driver dash area to show you what's there. Great if you're someone who's driving in the city, because this is a big vehicle, cyclists, curbs, whatever it may be, you'll have everything in view right in front of you. Door handles. They're not body colors, so you get these satin chrome door handles. Matches perfectly with our window trim pieces and, of course, the grille in the front. Although there's not too many changes when it comes to materials on this vehicle, the changes that are there, it's cohesive, it's sleek. I think it looks really good. If it was all blacked out, you'd kind of miss out a lot on this car. Speaking of sleek, we have Palisade boldly written across the rear end of the vehicle, your Hyundai emblem. If I could change anything about this, I would try to hide the rear wiper, probably under the spoiler here, just to make it a bit cleaner, and maybe a lower profile Hyundai emblem. But nonetheless, it's a beautiful look. The Palisade has a beautiful refined look that I think really separates it from the Kia Telluride and also the Santa Fe. Here's another hot point. If you are comparing this to the Santa Fe, you'll probably appreciate the rear end of this one a little bit more. I know the rear end of the Santa Fe is a really hot topic, but this one looks good. I like it. It's classic. For your suspension, it's an independent rear suspension, and you also have a self-leveling rear suspension. So if you are towing with this vehicle, you'll really appreciate that. The handling's phenomenal on this car, although it is big and, you know, it's a family size SUV. You can still have a lot of fun driving it, and it is a smooth and comfortable drive. I do love the brown finish back here, the green and brown look. I think it looks great. Back here with your third row up, there's not an abundance of space, but it's still fairly usable. It's super easy to knock down your third or second row because it's all done powered. Notice how I said easy and not quick. It's not the fastest way to do things, but it gets it done. Yep.
One eternity later.
Yes. 2 to 3 business days, but you know, it works. All right, now with the third row folded down, you can see our seating configuration. So we got 2 seats in the very middle, or your captain's chairs. Those seats are probably the best in the house. They're heated, ventilated armrests. Charlotte will get more into it later. But back here, we have so much space, so the entry of this vehicle is very wide, just like the Santa Fe. You could sit here very comfortably and still have a lot more leg room if you need it. That was pretty smooth. And then if I were to sit this way, it's been a while since I sat in a trunk.
Yeah.
I used to do this all the time. Still tons of space. You again have those power buttons that I showed earlier, so second and third row, and you can control it from left and right. There is a 12 volt here. And then when you do have these rear seats up the third row, they can actually recline, but Charlotte will show that a little bit later. All right, let's get out. Okay. So smooth. While we're back here, it's worth pointing out this, of course, is a power lift gate, but it's also proximity based. So if I were to walk up to this lift gate with the key in my pocket or in my bag, it'll automatically open, and it is something you can turn off. We're not huge fans of it here at the dealership, considering how often we're standing beside cars, but still very nice to have. We also have a little bonus camera here, and a lot of people will think that's your rear view camera, you know, when you go to reverse your car, but that is not the case. That is a secondary camera that does something that a lot of cars don't exactly do. Charlotte will talk about that when you guys get inside. Along the rear bumper, you'll notice we also have more rear parking sensors, more rear. These are the rear ones. There was some in the front as well too. They're separate, they operate separately. But essentially, if you do back into something, not back into something, back up close to something, they'll beep at you inside the cabin to let you know what's going on. But of course, you'll still have your camera feed, and there is a rear collision avoidance on this car too. So if you're reversing out of a busy parking lot and it senses someone coming from the left or the right, the vehicle will avoid hopefully, but warn you accordingly, and it does have the capacity to emergency brake for you. So it's a very, very smart car. You can also remote smart park it, so I'll show you that on the key fob probably after we do our interior review. But there's a lot going on this car. It's truly packed with functions, and it gets better on the inside. So Charlotte, take it away.
All right. Switch and give Gabby the camera. So let's take a look on the inside. And guys, when Gabby said there's a lot going on the inside, she's right. Let me tell you that. I will mention again that we do have a proximity key, which meaning you have keyless entry, so you just simply are able to tap that button there. And I like that it's integrated into the handle. It's the same color, and you're able to get inside. I'll have Gabby give a nice pan of the cabin, that way everyone can see what we're working with. Now, I saw a couple comments talking about the color of the interior, and yes, this is a light color interior. It is a Nappa Leather, which is incredibly easy to wipe down. We actually wiped it down because there were a couple spots that were showing on it. This is it looks like a test drive unit from Hyundai from the mileage on it, but it was super easy to wipe down and nice and clean. Now, I mentioned that the seats are Nappa leather, but let me talk a little bit about what we have on the door. So again, you can see some of the mix of materials that we have. We're offering with lots of beiges and browns, and I think it looks really, really striking. Now, my favorite feature up at the top has got to be the capacity for memory seats, meaning you can save your seating configuration because there's tons of different ways to configure this driver's seat. If you take a look at it, not only do you have your regular adjustments, but you have a knee extender. You have the ability to adjust the bolster. You have 4-way lumbar support, and you also have an Ergo-Motion seat, which is like a massager for your back. Imagine that on road trips when you're getting, a little restless. Man, that's gonna feel really, really good.
Imagine just working at a Hyundai store and making the Palisade your office.
Yeah, literally, my dream. Also, when it comes to your mirrors, I will point those out. You can see them right here. They are power adjustable here. And you've got your unlock and the unlock, and then, or lock and unlock, and then all of your window controls too. All of your windows are express windows with pinch protection, meaning if it detects that there is something like a hand or something like that in the windows, it actually will drop down. That way no one's getting pinched. When it comes to the sound system in this vehicle, it is Harmon Kardon with Quantum Logic surround sound and Clarify restorative technology. And you're probably thinking, okay, premium sound system. Sounds great. There's probably about, 8 speakers in this vehicle. There's actually 12. So you can see we have a little 19 millimeter tweeter here. We've got 4 of those, and then 16 centimeter, what are these called? Midwoofers, I believe. We're gonna have an amplifier in the front too. We're gonna have a subwoofer in the back, which is 20 centimeters. So that's 4. There's a lot. There's a lot in this vehicle.
There's 12 total.
You got great sound in this vehicle is what I'm telling you. When it comes over here, let's talk about some of the controls. You do have your brightness adjuster for your instrument cluster. Also, we have dedicated tow modes in this vehicle. And if you have not seen our video on tow modes, make sure that you do. We'll have that linked down below for you. You also have traction control, your tailgate control, and electronic parking brake as well. Steering wheel, it's leather wrapped, it's super comfy to hold too, and you have atypical design here.
It's two-tone.
It's two-tone, it's got that dark color, I guess it's brown, and then contrast with the light beige. It's also gonna be fully heated as I mentioned, and behind it you have paddle shifters. On the steering wheel itself, you have your regular media controls, such as media modes, virtual assistant, everything along those lines. And then over here, of course, you're gonna be operating with more of your gimbals gone wild. You're gonna have more of your driving features like cruise control, lane keep assist, and lane follow assist. But I know everyone's favorite feature probably has to do with what's directly in front of me. And no, it's not the hood propped open. It has to do with the fact that we do have heads-up display. I'm not sure if it's able to pick up on camera, but if you see that right there, you do have heads-up display, which is absolutely phenomenal. Sweet. Love that feature.
Can you turn off heads-up display?
You absolutely can, yes. You can do so in the settings.
Nice.
There you go.
Do you want me to go around?
I would love that.
Okay. One thing I didn't point out when I was outside, the wipers, they are rain sensing, so ready for anything. This vehicle is also all-wheel drive. The Palisade is actually standard with all-wheel drive here in Canada, and it's H-track system with terrain mode, so you also get snow, mud, and sand. All right, so let's go inside.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Didn't see you there. Not sure if you want to show it, but right here is probably a good opportunity to show some of the ambient lighting that we have set to a nice purple color.
Beautiful.
Purple and green, that's quite the combination, I know.
I'll show the passenger seat as well too. It's also powered with lumbar support.
Yeah, so you have 8 ways to control the passenger seat, so you know it's going to be super comfortable. And guys, I'm telling you, as I'm sitting in this seat, it's so soft, it's so smooth, and it truly is very comfortable. When it comes to our instrument cluster, I know I've mentioned that a little bit before, but it is 12.3 inches, and from there you're also going to have your dedicated drive modes, and also you're able to cycle through various components on the screen to give you some more information on the vehicle and your driving habits. So just drive info, refueling, accumulated info, good for getting a sense of how the vehicle responds to your driving habits. Also navigation, it will give you navigation when you have a route set, and also your power distribution. So it's an all-wheel drive vehicle, of course, but it's predominantly going to act in front-wheel drive to give you some better fuel economy. But this screen here, it will also not only show you which way the tires are pointed, but it'll also show you when the rear end is kicking in to give you a little bit more of that power, which again, something I really enjoy. When it comes to our main screen here, I love how this looks. The one thing is it is framed in piano black, which is a huge fingerprint magnet, but hopefully you're just keeping your fingerprints to the screen and not much around it. Now, because this is operating with the older software, when I go to phone projection, it is going to ask for a wired connection, which is sad.
Hey, wired connection's good.
Wired connection is good. I often find on this older software that it is a little bit more stable than the wireless connection.
Absolutely.
But for the new CCNC, it's pretty slick, so I can't even complain about that. I do want to talk about some key features that we have showcased here, such as passenger talk. What this is going to do, and I'm not sure if you can tell, but basically it's picking up my voice and it's projecting it through the speakers in the rear. That way I don't have to feel like I need to yell to the back seat, because this is a bigger vehicle. Instead, I can stay there. Passenger talk, where it's actually going to dampen the speaker or anyone snoozing in the back seat. Continue to listen to your sweet music. Also, rear climate. So not only do we have dual zone up here, we also have our own climate for the rear. So tri-zone climate control. I can set my climate to what I'd want. Gabby can set hers to what she'd want. And then also you can have it completely different for the rear. There's also going to be rear climate controls, which we'll show in the back seat. And from up here in the screen, you can also lock it. I want to pop into setup real quick. And let's see if I can remember what I wanted to show. Well, here's heads-up display. So from here, of course, heads-up display, you can turn that on or off. But also those drive modes that I mentioned. So from here, you actually can go and access tow modes. This is a little bit of a sneak peek for our tow mode video. That way it's more of an all-in-one video, this one. But basically, it's just going to adjust how the vehicle is going to shift depending on the weight. And if you want the specifics of that, go and check out our video. But it's pretty cool, pretty cool. I'm so scared. I'll talk about the digital rear view mirror and then we'll go down. But as you can see, this may look like just a regular mirror, but if you flip this little switch right here, it's actually going to use that camera at the back of the vehicle, and it's actually going to give you about 6 lanes of traffic for you to see. Now, if
Our plow truck.
Yeah, literally our plow truck. If you don't like this and you think that this is a silly feature to include, don't worry, it's not taking away from anything. You're just gonna have your regular mirror, and you also have integrated home link on the mirror too. So if you have your garage doors, you can sync them with that. This is also going to have Blue Link, which is Hyundai's telematics system in it. Keep talking, I guess, about what's up top. We do have a deluxe suede headliner. So again, if you have kids, they'll have a lot of fun drawing stars or hearts or whatever the heck it is they want to draw in this. I know I certainly do. And then also you have dual sunroof. So the front one here is going to open. The one in the back seat, although the shade does retract, it does not fully open. And this vehicle, it does not have passenger view camera, but you do have a conversation mirror. So if you thought that was a sunglass holder, my heart is broken with you, don't worry. But there, you can see everyone in the back seat, which is no one. I love that.
And that's how we like to keep it.
And that's how we like to keep it. So one thing I also will notice on this screen is you can see we have little seatbelt icons here. This is just for the 5 seats that are in the rear, but this will actually tell you which seatbelts are in use and which ones are not. So really cool. Down here, this is all pretty standard. Map, navigation, media controls, tune knob, volume, favorites button is that star. Your climate controls, as I mentioned, which is going to be dual zone with front and rear defrost and recirculated air, not ear. Nice. Solid. ASMR.
Bada bing,
for you
bada
guys.
boom.
Yeah, drive modes. It's got them. And terrain modes. So you have the option for 4 drive modes: Comfort, Eco, Sport, and Smart. And then also 3 terrain modes, so snow, mud, and sand. So depending on what configuration you put it in, it's going to change again how the powertrain is responding. You know, for things like comfort, it's going to be the most comfortable. Sporty, obviously increased throttle response, a little bit of a punchier feel, but worse for your fuel economy. And then Smart and Eco mode are a little bit different. Eco, obviously the most fuel efficient, but might feel a little bit sluggish. Smart mode is really cool because it's actually going to, I'm talking way too fast. Smart mode is really interesting because it's actually going to work in a combination. Depending on how it is you drive, depending on how you drive, it's going to adapt and put you in the needed mode to give you the most optimal output. Your terrain modes, of course, if it detects a little bit of slippage, it's going to kick in and help you in those inclement weathers or give you a little bit of less wheel spin or a little bit more wheel spin, especially if you're in sand mode. Auto hold. Auto hold, it's got it. So if you bring the vehicle to a full and complete stop, you can actually stay there until you put your foot back on the gas. Parking sensors, idle, stop and go. We don't need to talk about that because everyone hates it, so we can just turn it off. And then I want to show you guys the cameras. So Gabby showed us all the cameras in this vehicle. Here's your rear view camera and your surround view monitor. So this shows the dynamic guidelines, but also we have blind view monitor on this vehicle. So you can actually utilize those cameras that are on the mirrors to take another look. And when I have my turn signal on, if the vehicle is on, which it's not because it's a gas vehicle and we can't run it indoors, it will project on either the speedometer or the tachometer, depending on the location, to give you this same live feed just right in front of you as the driver. Down here is all of your controls, ventilated, heated seats for both in the front and your heated steering wheel. And then in here you have tons of space, and you also can close it up. There we go. So you have a USB here for connectivity for your CarPlay. You also have a wireless phone charger down here and adjustable cup holders. So they can either slide into place or, again, this always reminds me of a guillotine for some reason, but so fast, scary. And then also a little light there. And then also your center console, which is, again, going to have a USB-C and a 12-volt too.
Hello, charging.
Hello, charging is absolutely right.
Do you need a breather?
I think I've covered everything up here. Do you think?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the second row. How are we doing for time?
We are at 20 minutes already.
Oh, no. Okay, in the back seat, let's speed run this, guys. Climate control, USB-Cs, pockets, household outlet, 12 volt. These seats are comfortable. You have a sunshade, more speakers, and 2 cup holders, plus 1 down at the bottom as well. And you have a nice little convenience pocket here.
Seat controls.
Seat controls. Now you're probably looking at this and you're thinking, yeah, there's your heated and ventilated seats. You're probably looking at this and thinking, oh my goodness, Charlotte, there's no rear air vents because all of that stuff is there. Don't worry. We have diffusing rear air vents that are ceiling mounted, and we even have them for the 3rd row. Woo, woo, woo. So that's absolutely great. And again, more of that suede headliner. As you step into the back, it is easy to do so because there is a nice, easy button that'll automatically bring that seat back for me.
It's easy when the seats are up.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. There's a button for that, girl.
There we go. It just takes 3 to 4 business days. Now, obviously, I'm choosing to go through the center aisle because that's just what's easy for me hopping to there. But there is a step with a little plastic sill, too, for nice, easy access into the 3rd row. You also have armrests, which are adjustable. And now I can go and hop into the 3rd row. Woohoo! I'll raise that one up, too. This way you guys can get an idea of space. Again, air vent up here. I've got speakers back here, and I've got that subwoofer back here, too. So 20 centimeter subwoofer. I have dual USB-Cs still, and 2 cup holders in the back as well. And the nice thing is I still have tons of space. This is a 3-row bench seat. Now I'm gonna talk about 2 things, and then I think I'm done back here. Number 1 is you're probably wondering what this is. This vehicle has a rear occupant alert. So what these are is they're actually motion sensors. So if it detects that there is something in the vehicle moving while the vehicle is turned off and locked, it will send you an alert to your blue link. And then if it still detects it after 10 minutes, it's actually going to alert the panic alarm. That way, if you're leaving an animal or something like that, don't do that first of all, but it will alert you. It'll also give you an alert on the screen saying check back seats, say if you've left groceries and it detects that or something like that. And also will let you know if you've left your phone on the wireless charge pad.
Ooh.
Now,
you okay?
Yes, try to go quick. Ceiling mounted seat belt. I'm only responding to this because I saw a comment about it. When it is plugged in here, a lot of people think that it's just going to be plugged in forever. But if you actually take your key fob and use the actual metal key part and just tap it into this little area here, I love that the lights went out, or a screwdriver, something of that variety, it actually will release it. That way it can just go back to being on the ceiling. So there you go. The more you know.
The more you know.
Palisade.
Palisade indeed. Another moment for the 2-tone interior, which comes in other colors.
It's kind of tri-tone because you got black.
Yep.
And then the more like chocolate brown, and then the beige.
Yeah, I'd say. Ooh. Hello.
Hello.
Should we take it for a little? Should we just back it up and put it in the sun? I think.
Sure.
Okay. Let's get the door. Oh, and while you guys are on, quick question. Do you like your coolant to be carbonated or flat? The reason why I'm asking
Sparkling or still?
is because someone very near and dear to me brought their Chevy Cruze to my work. And yeah, they have carbonated coolant in their car.
We love carbonated coolant.
Your coolant shouldn't be bubbling, by the way. Blown head gasket. Okay. Well, I'll give this to you, Charlotte.
We can answer some questions while we're out there, too.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to try not to be super shaky, but just know that I am literally holding this up with all of my arm strength. Okay. I guess I can cycle through. Hello. And hopefully my seatbelt won't hit
The mic.
the mic.
I'm worried about that too.
So Gabby, tell me about the drive.
Well, I can already tell it's gonna be a good one.
So I'm just gonna actually show you guys the rear view camera and the surround view monitor because this is a big vehicle and we had a big vehicle, an EV9, parked right next to it. So you can see how nice and easy it was to go and get that out.
Do it with your eyes closed.
Oh, people do prefer carbonated coolant.
Oh.
That is the consensus.
Do you want me to hop out and show the paint?
That would be awesome.
Okay. So I love green. I don't know if you guys can tell. Wow.
At least you're not wearing green pants today.
I know.
Yeah, that looks way better.
Don't mind the handprints. Me and Charlotte took this car to the car wash. Our car wash pretty much just redistributes the dirt somewhere else.
It's us for the car wash.
Yeah. So we had
and
to
we're not very good at it.
hand wipe it down. But the green it's beautiful.
You can really see a lot of those pearlescence and that nice sheen that it gives with a pearl paint. I think that this is a really beautiful paint and you don't see it very much.
Mm-hmm.
It's understated and yet still has a little bit enough spice to be something different.
Would you say quiet luxury?
Ooh, I'd say stealth wealth.
Stealth well. All right, maybe we'll drive it around the lot. I'm not going to take it on the road because we don't have a license plate on it. And it's just, we're not going to do that right now. Okay, Charlotte, I'll give this back to you.
Oh, people are saying not a fan of the color. I really like it.
I feel like green is, you either love green cars or you hate them. It's not really a car that someone...
Okay, would you rather this or the Valais green on the Seltos?
On yesterday's video, yeah.
Definitely this.
Yeah.
Does this car have launch control?
No, let's find out. No, it doesn't, but if you want to power brake it, sure.
Love that.
If you guys are ever curious what Connor drives, this is his Miata. And it's parked between two red bookends. So one thing about the Palisade, and I'm gonna compare it to the Telluride real quick just because those are the sister cars. More like a big SUV, more refined. You know, for having the same motor and the same powertrain in general, the difference is crazy. Mm-hmm. Then also compared to the Santa Fe, obviously we titled this video Better Than a Santa Fe. This one is definitely more smooth. The Santa Fe does have a dual clutch, but can make it a little bit lurchy at times, which I really do like. But if you're someone who just wants a nice, smooth, quiet ride, this one would probably be the way to go for sure. Space-wise, it's also a little bit more space because it's a bigger vehicle, right? So it might work better for your family in that department. Also, especially with the prices being so close, it makes it a little trickier, right, Charlotte?
Absolutely. Okay,
Right.
I think our stream was cutting out a little bit there due to some fun internet. It's warm out today.
Yeah, it is.
Holy smokes. But sitting in a car in the sun is
Not
warm.
the best.
But again, I love the driving features and parking features in this vehicle. It makes it so easy to navigate. Again, and hopefully it gives you confidence too, especially with driving a larger vehicle. I know that can sometimes be intimidating, but again, it makes it easy to do so with all the parking sensors and all the cameras everywhere. It makes it way harder to hit something. You got to really be trying.
Absolutely. Should we do a quick fire of things that are in this that aren't in the Santa Fe and vice versa?
Go for it.
Okay, so all of them are going to be 3-row SUVs. In Canada, all of them are going to have all-wheel drive. So there's no front-wheel drive variants available for them. So that's the same. Powertrain, you can only get a V6 for this one. Charlotte, that is really bad.
I am so good.
You can only get a V6 in the Palisade, but if you're looking at the Santa Fe, you can either get a hybrid 4-cylinder or a turbocharged 2.5-liter 4-cylinder. Both of them are great powertrains. Actually, all three are great powertrains.
Absolutely.
But they give you very different things. Obviously, the hybrid's going to excel in the fuel efficiency department, but the 2.5 turbo in the Santa Fe is going to be a lot of fun to drive. Seriously.
Absolutely.
It's really responsive and really fun. This is going to be a lot more sleek and a lot more luxurious.
This, I would say, is designed more so to be a luxury hauler instead of more of the rugged styling hauler of the Santa Fe, which is what we see a lot more. That's definitely designed more of a, more adventure type capacity. Obviously, you're going to see the option for different size wheels, like a beefier tire. Also, you're going to have the C-pillar assist handle, which if that's something that you like, go for it.
Yep.
Some people do, some people don't. But both of these vehicles, I will say, have an excellent use of space when it comes to the configuration of the interior. I'd almost say it's very modular, meaning you can kind of customize it however you want. And then also you can make good use of the vertical space, vertical space up above, if you need to mount stuff on the roof, anything like that.
The Palisade we have now, so the 2024 model, it does not have CCNC software, and it's not something that can be updated via software update. So
The only time we will see that par for par is in the next refreshed Palisade, which we don't have an exact year for that yet. So if the latest and greatest software is what you're looking for, then you might want to consider the Santa Fe. But if you just want a smooth, luxurious ride, Palisade it is, you guys.
This is definitely going to be more luxurious and more of a traditional look.
Yeah.
I will also say the Santa Fe does have more trim variation, as Gabby said, different powertrains, but also
This one only
when
has
you're
2.
looking at the gas, it has 3 options versus only having 2 options with the same powertrain.
Yeah, you got it. Any fun comments? Oh, I think we've been trying to ignore it or put it off till the end of this episode, but it's somebody's birthday today, and it's not ours.
No.
Can you guess who it is? I feel like he's probably said it 10 times in the comments already.
Yes.
It's Zoran's birthday.
Zoran's birthday.
So happy birthday, Zoran. As much as you are a pain sometimes, we love you here.
We
at
love and
Bradford Kia.
appreciate you.
Yes, we do appreciate you.
So don't worry.
Your continued support, which is just humbling us, actually. So the end screen. All right. With that being said, any comments you think we should get to before?
I can't even read.
Do you want me to read them?
Yeah. Do you want to hold this?
Sure.
Do your time, girl.
I think I'm gonna
My
have
arm.
to put it out of the window.
That's okay.
Oh, this is an awkward angle.
Samantha's saying, now it's my birthday.
Happy
So
birthday, Sarah.
there you go. Happy birthday.
It's everyone's birthday.
It's everyone's birthday. Oh man. Trying to
Okay,
look.
I might have to bring my arm back
Yeah, I
into
know
the
it's
car.
hard.
This is weird.
Okay, lots of talk. I don't know if we're actually getting any questions about the vehicle. So looks like we'll probably end off there.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned something about the Palisade or the Santa Fe today, since we talked about both. If you want to see both head to head, that's something we could probably do.
Yeah, let us know. And if you liked this video, or if you didn't like this video, like this video.
Leave a like anyway, because...
And also leave us a comment on what you would pick. If you would pick the Santa Fe or if you would pick something more traditional like the Palisade, we would really love to hear your input. And yeah, that's going to be all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, this does hurt the